Welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You can always look at your Moon and Rising sign readings in addition to your Sun sign reading if this isn't resonating with you for whatever reason, or just to gain further clarity for the week. This is for the week of October 3rd through the 10th. We're focusing on healing messages today, so I'll be using the Healing with the Angels Oracle for our main spread. And then, as always, drawing additional message cards from the other decks, being the Medicine cards and the Wisdom of the Oracle. This is a general reading for your sign, so whatever is most prominent in your life this week, I encourage you to apply these messages to, and hopefully you find them helpful and healing. So what does Sagittarius need to know about healing this week? Wow, Sagittarius, it looks like you're in pursuit of a lot of acceptance work this week. Just getting a little snapshot of what's going on here in general. You are doing a lot of theoretical work, even if it's not regard to theology, for example. It could be any type of study, but generally will be about the further understanding of your purpose, your point, your existence even. And I don't think, generally wouldn't say this about Sagittarians anyway, but I don't think it's in pursuit of this from a conspiratorial point of view. And I don't think it's in pursuit of understanding and acknowledgement and, truth, meta-truths with regard to religion necessarily either. I think this could be a spiritual exercise, or it could amount to a spiritual exercise even though it's begun or even processed as an intellectual exercise. It really doesn't matter how it's formulated or processed. The process itself is the important part. I do see that there is a wise sense of skepticism as opposed to cynicism, and I've said this for really any sign, but any pursuit of knowledge, if pursued through cynicism, is the death of knowledge, right? It's the death of possibilities. If you're a cynic, if you're skeptical, this is an excitement. This is a cautious approach. So yeah, if you're doing something skeptically, keep it up. It's probably the best way to go about it, frankly. And something's going to feel like a weight lifted off your shoulders. You're going to feel free from something here, toward a sense of possibilities, toward a sense of real understanding here. So I think this is just particularly an intellectually or emotionally exciting week for you in terms of personal development and outcomes toward your personal endeavors, your understanding, your meta-truths, your understanding of the world or your place in it. So really exciting to see this for you. Let's look at these individually, with self-acceptance being in your the position representing you. This is such a beautiful card, essentially, to have about the self, which, I mean, self-acceptance is pretty self-explanatory as well. But the element being, because we've got, influences with it, this is a current state of mind, and this is the way that you go about things. You accept who you are and your follies and your faults and your beauties and your strengths. Self-acceptance is not to say I accept myself, warts included. It's to say I accept myself and all things I'm capable of and all things that are possible for me. It is a raising of the consciousness, not a lowering of the self to something that's, wrong or negative. It's the opposite of that. It's saying, I am wonderful. And I'm wonderful just the way I am. I don't need to be what other people need me to be. I can be exactly who I am and still work in my best interest and still work to my highest good for all. Just because essentially I'm not saying, unless there's some heavier or heavy influence to your week, I just don't see this being a selfish week. Because I see that Sagittarians generally, as the sign, being ruled by Jupiter and expansion and knowledge and the philosopher, etc., and being the planet of possibilities and higher learning, that this acknowledgement of the self-acceptance is in to create the higher purpose. This isn't about the ego, is what I'm trying to say. Someone might try to say that, or you might even, at some point just say, is this my ego talking? I wouldn't say so this week. Not if it's in pursuit of higher learning, not if it's in pursuit of health and healing, okay? If you do feel like you're number one this week, then you know what? You are. You're fantastic. If you do feel like you're getting somewhere, you're making headway with something, and you're really learning something, and you're raising your consciousness and your vibration, you know what? You are. Don't second guess it. You absolutely are. This pursuit, primarily, look at what the influence is, ideas and inspiration. This is genius, okay? This is a genius card. If you can be inspired towards self-acceptance, look at what follows: freedom under the auspice of serenity. And of course, the influence to the probable outcome being study. It's just remarkable. I'm absolutely fascinated for you. Ideas and inspiration, like I mentioned, is in your influence card. This is the antithesis to the ego, okay? This is where you're going to be able to flick off or slow off or brush off if anyone gets in your way about you doing this work or pursuing this knowledge or pursuing this path or work that you're doing. They're trying to tell you why you're doing it, or they're trying to tell you how it affects them or influences them. Well, that's fine. They can think that. You know why you're doing it, and it's not about what other people think of it, is it? And I don't think you're going to let the work become about what other people want from you or expect from you either. It's about what inspires you and these ideas, these, what do we call them? These flashes of inspiration. That could be another element of it here. And you more than likely will find this through the arts, but anything that is calming to you, okay? So through the arts or the creative art, which is calming. We're looking at serenity as influence, of course, to the ideas. So we're looking at things like gardening or painting or singing or dancing or writing or developing something, okay? Something that is in a creative endeavor that makes you peaceful, that brings you a sense of peace. And this is where the possibility of great achievement exists, because there's literally no self-doubt here at all. In fact, the only doubt that's going to manifest itself for you this week it will be external to you, and you can shut it off. Just shut it off. If it's the news, turn it off. If it's someone saying, a man can't do that or a woman can't do that, stop talking to that person, at least for the time being. You don't have to make an enemy out of it, but you literally can't tolerate someone who doesn't bring serenity to the week for you, who is going to somehow, interrupt this sense of personal growth and development for you. This is inspired. You have to remember, right? You're working hard to develop purpose. and you're in pursuit of this, and it causes you no angst, and it's exciting for you, it literally doesn't matter what anyone else is saying. Look, unless you're causing harm, and I highly suspect you're not, unless you're causing harm to someone else, and just don't, then don't listen to the haters. Okay, I'll leave it there. including anything that you're telling yourself. Okay, including old narratives like I can't do this, or this isn't that, or whatever that is. If that's even a voice in your head, shut it out. That's not allowed. Freedom is your probable outcome. Look how glorious the imagery is. First of all, there's this sense of disrobing. You get rid of all this ego, all the stuff that we're told we're supposed to be. We can fit in now. We're accepted now. People respect us now. All these things that we make important to us, except for this element of self-acceptance. Once you've reached this is listen, it is a dangerous sense of freedom, but it's only dangerous to the machine, right? It's not dangerous to other people. You're not out hurting other people. It's dangerous because now the machinery, the societal machinery, right? The churning, the game, can't control you. That's true freedom. This is what I mean by getting away, creating something much, much greater for yourself, better for yourself, higher, significant, really looking at themes of purpose, okay? And very probably even secrets of the universe, all right? Maybe you're not calling them secrets, but okay, meta-truths is another way to frame that. Ultimately, this sense of freedom and this activated freedom, because now this is going to be behavior and the way that you express in the world, yeah, it's going to seem dangerous to slaves, right? But hey, you can't get to this level of freedom by listening to slaves either. So don't worry about this if that's what's going on, including an internal narrative. If that's what's going on internally to you, turn it off. Don't let that happen don't let that narrative continue. Create a new story for yourself if that's the case. And then keep repeating that new story for yourself. Study is in influence to freedom. These came out together. So this is where I'm seeing that there's probably something that you're looking at in particular, that you're actually paying attention to. This isn't just like a willy-nilly, who am I and where do I belong in the world and what's the purpose and everything. I mean, this is you paying attention to other people's writings, literature, history, science, religion, Gnosticism, anything that involves, the learning that there has been an example of, and now you can choose, I'm going to include this in my higher learning, or I'm going to reject that, but you'll know exactly why. This is the beauty of study. The beauty of study is it's not always in accepting what you're studying. No, you want to be a critical thinker. The beauty is in knowing why you're choosing something and knowing why you're rejecting something. That is power. Serenity is in the influence for the week. Of course, this touches on all the cards. This is how I know that what you're moving in pursuit of, if what you're moving in this direction of is done with a calm and peaceful heart, this is how I know you're going in the right direction. This is how I know this freedom is yours. This is how I know you're on the right track, okay? This is, in fact, I want to hear from you if this is what's going on, because I want to know what you're learning and what you are happening upon and how you are developing this level of freedom for yourself, because it is through a sense of serenity, creative arts, okay? Nature, cycles, understanding the earth as a biological being. Understanding all of this is power, okay? It really, really is. And doing this type of work in pursuit of grace, essentially, but ultimately coming from, anytime you're involved in doing this type of work, or this search, the ideas, the inspiration, the freedom, the study, anytime this work is around, I'm excited about this, I feel good about this, no matter what I learn, no matter if I agree with it or not, I'm excited about the process. That's how you know you're going in the right direction. The process is everything. Dolphin, this is mana. Remarkable to see this. Yes, you might even have your toes tingling and your nose twitching from so much excitement around what you're learning this week. I'm genuinely excited for you. This is an extremely exciting week for you. Mana, of course, is about the understanding that what you are gathering is meta truths, meta information, higher truths. You might find yourself turning away, whether you're conscious of it or not, from organized truths, okay? Or what another way to frame that is, matrix truths or the machinery. The machine is basically institutional truth, okay? So what the schools and the leaders and governments, okay? Yeah, there might even be a smidgen of truth in some of these prospects or these stories. But what you're learning is that by and large there isn't. You have to figure it out for yourself. And this is where you're seeing freedom and the pursuit of study. It's exciting you to keep going. Absolutely keep going. Go the distance. Keep going in this direction, Sagittarius. It's like I'm kind of like energized just reading this for you because I'm excited to hear what you have to say, what you are learning about this. You might even be compelled to write a book or to write an article or an essay or a thesis of some sort here. Eventually, if not right away, other people are going to see this and feel this in your life as well. So feel free to speak about this with other people. If at all you're shut down by anyone, just let it go. Don't talk to them for the time being. You don't have to make enemies, but choose who you're speaking with here carefully because you want to speak with other people with higher intentions and higher high volume energy, okay? Love, forgiveness, healing, hope, beauty, etc. here. Freedom, ultimately. So really beautiful week for you ahead. Let me know how it works out for you. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel because I upload videos for your sign every single week. Until we meet next time, Sagittarius, take excellent care. Bye for now.